Hi guys, Jeremy here, and I just want to do a quick review today on a company called HashFlare. Now, when it comes to Bitcoin and making more money with the Bitcoin you've already got, I can understand it can be an absolute minefield out there. Now, I know a lot of people that want to get into Bitcoin, and the problem is they just buy Bitcoin and hold Bitcoin. Now, over the last few years, that would have held you in good stead. But the problem with that is you're actually in effect gambling, because all you're doing is you're actually gambling on the price of Bitcoin going up rather than go down. So what I've always kind of preached, if you like, to my team and the people that follow me, is the safest way you can ever be invested in Bitcoin is to actually make sure that you're making more Bitcoin with the Bitcoin you've already got. You're not just relying on the price going up. Myself and my team members, they actually make money regardless of whether the price goes up or down in Bitcoin. One of the best ways to do that is through Bitcoin mining. Now, the problem with Bitcoin mining is an absolute minefield out there of different companies that you should, whether to join this company, that company. Some are scams, some are not actually really mining. So what I want to do is just do this review and show you a company that I believe is a really, really good company. It's something that I've been testing just for 2 or 3 weeks now, but I have actually been looking at HashFlare for quite a long time. Now, first of all, there's something you need to understand when it comes to Bitcoin mining. Bitcoin mining doesn't mean that you have to go out and buy all your own mining equipment, set up your own mining farm. That can be a biggest pain in the backside ever. You've got electricity costs. You've got to make sure that the Bitcoin mining equipment is the right environment to make sure it's not going to get overheated. You need to be able to cool it down. And obviously most people look at it and think, well, I'm not going to Bitcoin mine because it's too complicated and I don't know what I'm doing. So that's why there's companies out there that will actually mine Bitcoin for you. And then there's 2 different types of company. There's one where you actually can buy a contract and you still own the equipment and they manage it for you. Or there's something called cloud mining. Now, what cloud mining is, HashFlare actually is actually what HashFlare do, which is actually cloud mining. So where's the page gone? Let me just go to the home page. So this is their home page, HashFlare. They've got on there, they've got a little, if you go to the what is this, you've actually got how it works, what is Bitcoin, what is mining, frequently asked questions. So there's some good, obviously, education on there. If you go to the About Us page, you've got the actual team. Now, what I do like about HashFlare is you have actually got people behind the actual name of the company. So sometimes you go onto the internet and you can't see any information on the owners or anything like that. And that's always a massive red flag for me. You've got Sergey Potapenko. He's the founder and CEO. You see there you've got business development, chief product officer, so you can all put faces to the names, which is always good. It's always good to know the team behind it, and that's something that's quite important to me in any project I get involved in. I like to know the people behind it, and sometimes the people behind it is probably more important than the actual product itself. Saying that, if we knew who was behind Bitcoin, and we'd only deal in things if we knew exactly who was behind it, nobody would have ever bought Bitcoin, because nobody knows who Satoshi Nakamoto is, whether it's one person, whether it's a group of people. But Bitcoin's still been very, very profitable for most people. So, but when it comes to actually dealing with companies within that space, you really want to know, obviously, who the team are behind it. Also, if you go to media, you'll actually see that there was some really good. There was a article on the Cointelegraph. Most of you that have been around the Bitcoin space will know the Cointelegraph. It's quite a good site. We got lots and lots of different news and everything else, and they actually had an article on the Cointelegraph, which obviously explains how it works and everything else. So they've had some good press as well. Now, HashFlare also, they've actually been going since 2014. That's quite a big thing for me. So they've been in the business, in the space for 3 to 4 years now. which is always good. So if we go back to, I was hoping that would open it in a new page. It hasn't. So let me just go back here. So if you go to pricing, it actually comes up with all the different plans and the products that are available. So SHA256 cloud mining, that's really what we're looking for. You see there at the moment they've got a limited stock, and it's $2.20 per 10 gigahash. I'll explain all this in a sec because I'm going to show you. But basically what you do with cloud mining, you should buy power, and that power they then mine the Bitcoin, and then Bitcoin is put into your back office that you can either withdraw or put into more mining. So they do Bitcoin. They also do script here. This is actually Litecoin, where you can actually, which is an altcoin if you don't know what Litecoin is. Ethereum, that's another alternative coin. You've got Ethereum cloud mining, you've got Zcash, and you've also got Dash, but Dash at the moment is out of stock. These are all 1 year contracts, and I'm going to explain a little bit more how that works in a second. So what I'm actually going to do, we're actually going to go into my account. Okay. So when you actually go into HashFlare, if you go to buy hash rate, the Bitcoin one you've got here, so again, Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum, Zcash. So at the moment, we're interested in Bitcoin mining. When you go into the back office here, you can see here you can actually 10 gigahash from $2.20. You can actually start mining. I would recommend I'd say the only kind of little downfall with HashFlare at the moment is there is a minimum withdrawal, which is 0.05 of a Bitcoin. So if we go to coin market cap at the moment, and you see at the moment Bitcoin, the price there is $11,866 per coin. So if we just go into, if I open up the calculator, right, so if we go into the calculator, 11,866, so that's how much a Bitcoin is worth, 0.05 equals, so the minimum withdrawal at the moment is around about $590, which in Great British pounds is £439. So what you need to do is you need to make sure that you're not in a position where you put such a little amount in that you're never going to produce that amount in a year. So you can see here, if you go to, so what did I buy last week? I've actually, you see here, I purchased a few weeks ago, or a couple of weeks ago, I purchased 25 terahash. In actual fact, I started on the 16th. Was it the 16th I started? Let's have a look. Go to my history. I want to make sure I give you correct information. No, on the 10th of January. So 10th of January I came on board. I bought, you see there, 25,000, that's gigahash. So there's 1,000 gigahash to a terahash. So we'll go back to the buy hash rate. So 25 terahash will always cost $5,500 US dollars, which is 0.47 of a Bitcoin. Now, I actually, when I purchased it, obviously the price was a bit higher. It cost me 0.377 of a 0.377 of a Bitcoin. So now 0.37 of a Bitcoin would only get you 20 terahash. So I'm never really bothered too much about the price of Bitcoin. And the reason I'm not too bothered about the price of Bitcoin is because I'm looking at multiplying the Bitcoin. Obviously, eventually, the price is very, very important, but the price will go up, it will go down. We do have dips in the market and everything else, but ultimately, Bitcoin's on a massive bull run, and I don't see that finishing anytime soon. So, the price obviously of Bitcoin going up is going to be, makes it obviously a lot more profitable. Now, there is a website called Coin Wars, and what you can actually do, you can actually go to Coin Wars. You can put in how much gigahash. So again, 25,000, which is what I started with. Cost me €5,500. Obviously, you've got, just check on Coin Wars because it says 1 Bitcoin equals 12,564. But I'd always look on coinmarketcap.com just to get an accurate price of obviously Bitcoin. So go back to Coin Wars. So 11,866. We don't have any power cost because this is cloud mining. There are pool fees, normally around anything from 12 to 15%. I always put 20% in just to be a little bit conservative. The Bitcoin difficulty, you don't need to work that out because that will be worked out for you. And if you click on calculate, it will tell you from your Bitcoin mining calculator summary. Here we go. Day to generate 1 Bitcoin, 354 days. Days to break even, 205 days. So that's just over 6 months. Now that's obviously on the calculator. I made a decision that actually that's not bad. We can do that. We can definitely work with that. But when I actually got started on the 10th, you can actually see here, this actually gives you your revenue forecast for each day. So you see there at the moment it's producing 0.002 of a Bitcoin, or 0.0028264 of a Bitcoin, $33. In a week, that's likely to produce me $231 worth. In a month, 0.08. In 6 months, 0.5. So what my own personal plan is with this, now there's a couple of things you can actually do with this. You've got a choice. You can either reinvest, which means the power that it obviously makes, you can then reinvest it to get more power, or obviously you can withdraw. Now, like I say, not enough funds, minimum amount is 0.05. Because of the amount I put in, I should have enough to do that, within a month. So I should be able to take out the 0.05. My own personal plan is just to withdraw. I'm not going to reinvest any. Once I've made a reasonable amount of money on my Bitcoin, so I'm looking to get my 0.38 of a Bitcoin back. I'll probably look to generate 0.45 of a Bitcoin. So I think that's a reasonable profit. That's about 20%. So I should do that well within 6 months. You see, if you click on the information, revenue forecast, if the BTC price and mining difficulty do not change, and this is how big your payout. Now, what I'm going to do once I get around about 0.45 of Bitcoin up, then I'm just good, because then I've got all my money back plus some profit. I'm probably going to reinvest it and build more power. Now, every time you reinvest it and you buy some more power, that contract of that new power then starts from a year. So your original contract will still expire over a year, but all the little reinvestments and the additional power you buy, they will run from a year from the time you bought them. So then it's a case of compounding, and then obviously seeing what happens with that. So what I would recommend you doing, if you're going to put a low amount in, if your revenue forecast, it's not likely to produce 0.05 within sort of a year or anything like that, what you're really going to need to do is just keep reinvesting until at which point it's going to be able to pay you out the minimum withdrawals. Now, what I would say as well is I do encourage people getting into cryptocurrencies. You don't need massive capital to get started on cryptocurrencies. How I started is I committed to putting 10% of my wages each week into cryptocurrencies. I started, like I say, with that, and obviously doing very, very well now. I just recently gave up my day job and I do this full time now. So the money is there to be made. So there's a quick little review on HashFlare. So again, you don't have to buy 20 terahash. Like I say, even if you bought 1 terahash, which is about $220, and you can get started on that. Probably a good, if not $440, then what you could, I'd say, quite easily do within sort of 6 months, be able to withdraw your seed money back plus some profits, and then obviously just reinvest it, or like you say, if you just want to let the contract run for a year, you can see there, look, from mine, 0.37 could turn into 1 Bitcoin in the end of 1 year. So again, if you've got a few contracts doing that, you're increasing your Bitcoin all the time, and who knows what price of Bitcoin is going to do. If the Bitcoin price halved, you're still going to be no worse off, you're actually going to be better off. But if the price of Bitcoin doubles, trebles, quadruples this year, you're going to be in a massively fantastic position. So if you want to join HashFlare, there is an affiliate program with it. Click on the link in the description and join HashFlare. There is an affiliate, like I said, there's an affiliate program. It's only one level deep. You get 10% commission. If you want to join through my link, great. If not, that's equally fine. If you found the video useful, helpful, like I say, please give it a like and a share, and you can always subscribe to my channel. On the bottom right hand side, you should see a little subscribe tab. Click to subscribe to my channel and you'll get any other videos that I do. So that's HashFlare. That's my review of HashFlare. I'm very happy with the way it's kind of going at the moment, and there is an opportunity for you to increase your Bitcoin through HashFlare.